Hi there, Stan The Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. Yes, I do sell annuities. People always say, Stan, you do these videos? That's really great, but I'd love to buy an annuity. I mean, yes, I'm a philanthropist to a point, but yes, I do sell annuities. Doesn't mean you need one, but if you're going to talk to someone about annuities, why not talk to the top agent in the country, America's annuity agent? I know with some of my competitors, I love those guys, but when you call them, you could get anybody. You could get the 22-year-old, the 28-year-old, the 32. You could get a person that doesn't even know anything, but they're a good person. You need, when you're talking about your money, if it's your money, wouldn't you want to talk to the top guy in the country? And that would be me. So go to my site, theannuityman.com, and you can get my books for free. You can set an appointment to talk with me one-on-one. But today we're talking about tax advantages of a QLAC, a Qualified Longevity Annuity Contract. And you're going, what? Why haven't I ever heard of that, Stan? Why hasn't my advisor, my friend, my broker, my banker ever told me about QLACs? Why? Why? Don't have that answer. I don't know how a rainbow made's either. I don't know anything. All I know is this. You need to know what a QLAC is. I did say I don't know how a rainbow is made. Run a rainbow. Rainbow. Anyway, QLACs, Qualified Longevity Annuity Contracts, have been around since 2014. If you don't know about them, you need to know about them, because I personally think in a perfect world where the unicorns chase the butterflies and the planets align themselves and the Democrats get along with the Republicans and everybody's happy and there's no virus and there's no coughing and sneezing, QLACs would be the #1 selling product in the country when it comes to annuities. That's the way it should be. And you're saying, really? Then why haven't I heard about it? Well, you're getting ready to after this. All right, so let's talk about QLACs and where they came from, how they were first introduced by our friends at the Treasury Department and the IRS. 2014, they introduced the product to kind of encourage people to add another component of the income floor to their life. And the income floor is that income stream that comes in every single month. If you have a pension, by the way, pension's an annuity, that's fantastic. Problem with that is less than 10% of private companies offer pensions. If you work for the government or some good union, they have a pension, but most people don't have a pension. And then the other thing is they wanted to remind people that Social Security was never put on the planet to be the primary retirement income source. It's just not. I mean, if you hate all annuities, then you hate your Social Security, because, by the way, Social Security is the best inflation annuity on the planet. Yes, it's an annuity. Why? Because it provides a lifetime income stream. So the Treasury Department and the IRS, who are both our friends, really good people, fantastic people, I hope they're watching, they said, hey, with your traditional IRA, you can buy a QLAC with that money, and some employer-sponsored plans are offering them now, but most people that are buying them have traditional IRAs, not Roth IRAs. You can put money into a QLAC to provide a lifetime income stream in the future. And in addition, you can add your spouse or partner as a joint lifetime income recipient as well. And in addition, you can structure it so that 100% of any unused money, if both of you happen to die early in the contract, goes to the beneficiaries. And in addition, that amount of money in a QLAC is not used to calculate your required minimum distribution, so you can save some taxes. Does that sound too good to be true? No, because it's not. It's a contract. The downsides and the limitations of a QLAC is that there's no market attachments and no market growth, and there's not this really sexy story about, you can have your cake and eat it too. No, it's a pension. It's milquetoast, boring pension. To me, boring is good. Why? Because you own an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do, right? It's the will do. It's the contractual guarantees. Now, at the time of this taping, which is 2020, the rules for funding a QLAC per person's IRA, so if you have an IRA and your spouse has an IRA, the rules apply to both, is that you can use the lesser of 25% of your overall IRA qualified assets, or $135,000. So let's just kind of land on the $135,000. So if you put money into a QLAC, let's say you have $1 million IRA, you can put $135,000 into a QLAC. And if your wife has $1 million IRA, congratulations to both of you, you're both millionaires. But she can put, or he can put, $135,000 in that QLAC as well. The cool part about it is you can set it up either single life, just on your life, or joint life with your spouse or partner. All right, disclaimer, I'm not a tax lawyer, I'm not a CPA. Obviously, if you're talking taxes, you need to go to those people And we work directly with CPAs and tax lawyers to make sure that everything's working together with your overall plan. And QLACs being part of that overall plan, it might make sense for you. Now, you have to understand that QLACs were put on the planet for lifetime income. They're not put on the planet for market growth. They're not put on the planet for liquidity or long-term care. These are pension products with your IRA. Now, the rules are you can start as soon as age 72, 73. 72 is now the required minimum distribution age, and you can push it out as far as age 85. You don't have to go as far out as age 85. Okay, some people say, well, I don't want to buy a QLAC because I don't want to defer to 85. That's the farthest out you can go. You don't have to go that far. You can do 77 or 76, 78, whatever. Or you could say, okay, out of the 135, let's buy 3 contracts and have income start at 75, 80, and 85. Why? Because that's the only way to really address inflation using an annuity. Now, can you put a cost of living adjustment increase with some annuities, or with a QLAC, like a COLA writer would say, okay, Stan, I want it to increase by X percentage every year. Boy, that sounds great. But annuity companies have the big buildings for a reason. Anytime you attach an increase to a policy, I don't care what policy type it is, it's not like Social Security where it's a political football and they just raise it. Annuity companies will just lower the payment. So if you look at a QLAC with a cost of living adjustment rider, it starts visually here, and the same one without one starts visually here. So they're just going to lower the payment. That doesn't mean that we don't talk about it and we get a quote on it. But in most cases, people that buy QLACs, the payment stream is going to be static. Hey, it is what it is. But if you look at from a mathematical standpoint, the break-even point of, here's one without, here's one with a COLA. The one without a COLA kind of makes sense because you already own the best inflation annuity on the planet. What's that? Social Security. All right, so when you go take your required minimum distributions from your IRA when you're 72, turn 72, that QLAC, that 135,000 is not part of your calculation. So if you have non-annuity assets in your IRA, you'll have to take required minimum distributions from those, but you do not have to include the 135 as part of that calculation. Remember the rules. It's the lesser of 25% of your total IRA assets, or $135,000 at the time of this taping in 2020. It keeps kind of raising every year or so. The IRS and the Department of Treasury raises that limit on what you can put in, but as of this taping, it's $135,000. So there are some tax advantages. There's a potential that your RMD taxes will be less because you're not including that $135,000. The other thing you have to look at it from a tax savings standpoint is when you start the income from a QLAC, they're going to base that income stream primarily on your life expectancy, or life expectancies if joint with a spouse or partner, at the time you take the payment. Interest rates play a secondary role. So you're going to get that income stream coming from that 135, and you'll have to pay taxes just on the income stream that you get. Okay, the cool part about that is you're lengthening out the tax liability of that $135,000 for as long as you live. So let's just say $135,000 is what you put into the QLAC, and your income stream from that coming out of your IRA is, say, $2,000. Okay, let's say it's $2,000 a month. You're only going to pay taxes on that $2,000 per month when it comes out of your IRA as it's being paid as income to you. You don't have to pay taxes on the 135. So you're kind of lengthening out that tax liability of the 135, which is also very cool. You have to be careful out there in the hinterlands of the internet and sales pitches and bad chicken dinner seminars that talk about tax-free this and all this, tax advantages of things. The IRS is pretty smart. I know you might not think that, but they are, and they're watching the investment world with QLACs because the IRS actually helped introduce them with the Treasury Department. There's no gray area. I mean, all the rules with QLACs apply and that are legal. I just encourage you to be very, very careful of anyone out there that says they have a tax loophole that they found. They have not found it. QLAC is a legal tax strategy approved by the IRS and the Treasury Department that you can take advantage of. All right, so I encourage you to go to my site, theannuityman.com. You can run QLAC quotes on your own, but I would encourage you to engage with me. Set an appointment, a phone appointment. That's like the biggest phone in the world. But I do that for impact, to show you that you can't, I don't know, You know, this is a great story. So I'm watching the news the other day, and they went to kids and they said, show me the hand gesture for when you're on the phone. And all of the kids did this. All of them. They all did that. What did grown-ups do? That. So they showed the kids, they go, what's this? Kids had no idea what this meant. Now for the old people out there, you got to laugh. This is how they live. Or that one kid had like this and the other had like this. That's funny. But for all of you old fogies out there like me, schedule time with me. Let's talk one-on-one. Get my books. Go to the site. Look around. Listen to my podcast, which is called Fun with Annuities. That comes out every week. But these videos come out every day, Monday through Friday. So I would encourage you to hit the subscribe button and get educated, because I want you to make a decision on your terms and on your time frame when it comes to any type of annuities, and with QLACs as well. But let's connect. Let's talk QLACs, and I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man YouTube video.